All right, let's see what's going on Twitter today. Let's see what's happening. Well, I should probably check my DM requests. It's been a while. Hold on. Wait, what's this? As exciting as new mechanics are in Rocket League, what comes with them are a whole bunch of annoying side effects that spread faster than toxicity in a platinum lobby. As a creator that's heavily invested in this community, I see almost all of these side effects all the time when something new gets discovered. DMs, tags, the comments section, my own Twitch chat, you just can't seem to escape it. The most iconic side effect, of course, being people who get inspired to make their own mechanics. But that's exactly the problem. Especially nowadays, new mechanics aren't invented, they're discovered. I personally do get tagged in posts about new mechanics fairly often. Some of them are technically things that I haven't seen before, but that doesn't make them cool, useful, or even worth talking about at all. I think there's just a general misunderstanding as to why some mechanics go viral, but other mechanics are just an embarrassment to the person claiming to have created them. Obviously, there's just some people that don't know the game well. They'll do something like a funky redirect and think, yo, oh my god, I've never seen anyone do that before. But they're just not good enough at the game to understand that it's just a sloppy version of a normal redirect. As clueless as it may seem, we all may have done something like this at some point and thought the same thing. You just would never know until you get enough experience that things without a name get done all the time, but that doesn't mean they deserve to be called a new mechanic and to be given a new name. I asked you guys on Discord to send me some mechanics that you've invented. Rocket Sledge did a video like this a while back, but I wanted to see for myself, just to see if there's any actual legitimacy to these people claiming they've invented something new. But first, I must ask you to subscribe. We're currently in a race to 500,000 subscribers against Striped and Thanovic, and thanks to Displate, the winner actually gets Alpha Boost. And oh my god, Striped is about to win. We need some massive community-wide movement to have a chance here. So, if you get recommended my videos a lot, I would really appreciate it if you hit that button. Just takes a second, really helps me out. And as I mentioned, Displate is a reason we have such a big prize for this race, and they're actually the sponsor of today's video. If you've seen my videos before, there's a good chance you've seen the Displates behind me. They're metal posters, super high quality, super easy to set up, and they look great. They've got like a ton of options on their website. If you just search something up, there's a good chance you'll get a ton of results on it. And once they come in, they're super easy to set up. You just clean the wall, put the protective leaf on it, put the magnet on, and then just put the Displate there. I really love them because they're a perfect way for me to show my passion. They have branded and artistic designs. They ship really quickly, expected 4 to 5 business days. It's simply a great product and definitely my go-to for posters. If you're interested, check out the link in the description for 23% off 1 to 2 Displates or 27% off 3 or more. And that discount is automatically applied at the checkout if you use the link in the description. Thank you again to Displate for sponsoring today's video and our race to 500,000 subscribers. So I asked you guys what mechanics you've invented in Rocket League, and I was already expecting there to not be any legitimate competitive mechanics submitted because, as I said, mechanics aren't invented, they're discovered. Aimlessly looking for new mechanics in free play hasn't been a viable way to find them since like a few months after this game came out. It's usually something you just stumble across naturally. There was one submission that was like a cool freestyle setup. I don't even know if it's new, to be honest. I'm not that familiar with freestyling, but it turns out that this was also showcased in one of Stripe's videos last year, so even then it's not new today. This guy, who apparently is silver, submitted this thing called the jump flip that they think could be used competitively. He basically just described a pogo off the corner and obvious reasons why this would never be used in comp. Overall, with all these submissions, you can kind of place them all into a category. You've got meme/troll submissions, you've got stuff that already exists, you've got stuff that technically is new but isn't really cool, useful, repeatable in any situation, freestyling or competitive. And then finally, stuff that is genuinely new and useful in freestyling or competitive. Unfortunately, none of the submissions fell into that last category. So there is some of that stuff that goes around, people claiming they invented new mechanics, but it's almost never actually true. But for the most part, it's just wholesome. I got a ton of DMs the week I uploaded the video about the licks jump. Apparently, like, a ton of people were inspired to make their own mechanic after seeing that. I mean, it's like maximum clout with minimum effort. Like, you just stumbled across something in free play without even trying. It sounds like a great deal to me, but obviously it doesn't work like that. Definitely embarrassing, but it's nothing more than a little annoying. Here's something that is a little bit more than annoying though. During the rare occasions where a brand new mechanic is actually discovered, there's always an immediate question that gets asked, which is, what do we call this thing? It makes sense because once any clip or video goes viral related to this new mechanic, whatever they decided to call it in that clip or video pretty much entirely solidifies the name. Like that super viral clip of Squishy hitting the first ceiling shot in RLCS. Imagine if the caster said roof shot instead of ceiling shot.
Cloud9. Unable to take it, but Squishy now with a steely. He puts it through.
I wouldn't be surprised if we would have ended up calling them roof shots if that's what actually happened. Point is, it's important that we get the naming down early on, sooner rather than later, before we start just calling it something stupid. And of course, there's bound to be conflict when something like this arises. When the Licks jump was first discovered, while it was really exciting, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Hardly anyone called it the same thing. You couldn't post a clip of yourself doing it anywhere without a debate being started in the replies about what the mechanic is actually called. Some people called it the Licks reset, Fedelix jump, Helix jump, wall reset, along with a few completely random suggestions like dash set and feet licker. I'm sorry, what? Most people are pretty civil about it, like sharing their opinion but not necessarily considering it fact. But every so often you get someone that takes it a little bit too far. Your naming makes no sense at all. If the player who discovered the jump in free play is called Fedelix, why do you go with Licks? His name is Fedelix, so Fedelix jump. First grade logic. Dude, I literally didn't even choose the name. I talked in the video about how I left it up to Twitter to decide. If it were up to me, I would have called it something completely different. The final side effect of new mechanics being discovered, though, is what I consider to be the worst part of all of this, and it's just ridiculous. I could at least have some sort of sympathy with the people before, like the people who just created something that they didn't think already existed, or just disagreeing on what something should be named. But this, I don't really know what to say about. Every time a new mechanic gets discovered, in comes a giant swarm of players saying, this isn't new, or even worse, I've already been doing this for years. I don't really have any idea where this comes from because it's so obviously untrue. In particular for the Licks jump, which is obviously most recent, there must have been like 50 or more comments just saying like, I do this on accident all the time, or I've been doing this on purpose for a while, I just thought everyone else already knew about it. But anyone who actually knows how this mechanic is done can tell you for sure that there's no way you've been doing this on purpose. The amount of super precise timing and inputs it takes to actually perform this kind of justifies why it took more than 6 years for it to get discovered. Normally, I'd say this stuff is mostly wholesome too, but all these comments seem to have some sort of condescending tone to them. It's like some combination of jealousy and ignorance. And the result is a large body of people that are taking a time of excitement and interest and turning it into a time of conflict and negativity. So please, if you ever think about doing anything discussed in this video, before you do, just take a second to think about how this might actually make you look. And done. The video is finally finished. Now, I can publish it and officially say I've cleansed the entire Rocket League community from any and all of these negative side effects. Okay, what the f-